oh my God, are you trying to freak me out right now? Because why would you pop this on my For You page after I'm stressed and depressed about a lump on my breast? You know what I'm saying? Hey everybody, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Ebony. If you are new here, make sure you hit that subscribe button, join the family. We lit over here, y'all know the vibes. And if you're not new here, what's up, y'all? I know y'all mess with me like I mess with y'all, so thank you for coming back to my channel. Today is going to be a little bit more of a serious video. This one is more so for the women. I know I post some trucking content and things like that, but this specifically is a little bit more for the women because I had a pretty big scare. I don't know what I named this video, but whatever the title is, as y'all know, I found a lump on my breast and I was so scared about it. I ended up going to the doctor and having a series of events, so I'm going to talk a little bit about that and just kind of tell y'all what happened and the emotions that I was going through and how everything went down. While I was pregnant, I felt a lump on my breast. It was on my left side. It was underneath. One day I was literally just laying in the bed, and ever since I've been going to the doctor as an adult, they tell you like just do a little self-check. So it's not technically a mammogram, but you just kind of do a little self-check on yourself. So you feel around your boobs and you kind of pat to see if you feel anything out of the norm. I felt something out of the norm. Okay, and at the time I was seeing an OB in Florida. When I brought it up to them, they didn't really take me serious, and at the time I don't feel like I really stood up for myself because I was really going and focused on making sure that the baby was taken care of and that the baby was safe and you know, growing well. And so I didn't really make it a big deal at the time. So anyway, once I got to Ohio, because I was going back and forth from Florida to Ohio. So once I got to Ohio, I brought it up to my OB and they had told me like, oh, you're pregnant. It's just probably that. It's no big deal. And I said, no. The last doctor I told, they didn't take me serious. They did not do anything further. And I'm telling you now that I want to see a specialist. I want somebody to look at this. And she said, okay, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to make you feel any kind of way, but we will get somebody in here. So they went and got another woman. She came in, she laid me back, she felt all around, she named a couple of things that she felt like it could have been, and I was like, okay. She said, well, we will send you to a specialist. We will get you checked out, get you an ultrasound, get you a mammogram, and see a little bit more about it. So at that time I was like, dang. I honestly went on for like another month until the next follow-up appointment, and I literally just tried not to think about it. Like the first day I was Googling all the words that she said, and I was like, Ebony, you are gonna drive yourself insane. So I ended up just trying to forget about it until the appointment came. So when the next appointment came, this is the footage from that. So I'm not supposed to be recording. I'm at the doctor's office.
Everything from the waist up off, and your pants were okay. So, yes. Okay, sounds good.
I'm at the doctor's office because I reported to my OB that I felt a bit of a lump in my breast. But I'm here right now to get a mammogram and an ultrasound. So I'm recording this just in case. But I'm staying positive. They said they're gonna give me my results today. So let's go do it. I'm so fucking nervous. Bro, this little gown can't do nothing with my titties. Do you hear me? We just got done with the ultrasound. She did a bunch of imaging on my boob where I felt the lump. She measured it and everything. She asked me what size I thought it was. I told her it was kind of small, like maybe the size of a grape. She did imaging there, and then she did imaging under my arm as well. And she said she's about to go show the images to the radiologist, and then she will be back in a minute. So yeah, my heart is beating faster than I've ever felt it in my life. And I am just waiting on them to come back. I can't really talk, but I got the ultrasound and she said that she was gonna go show the images to the radiologist or whatever. So her and the radiologist came back. I'm in here.
Okay.
So I'm checking back in real quick. Anyway, they came back in with the radiologist and she told me that they do see some, you know, something on the breast. And they also checked my underarm. She said she sees a lymph node that is thickened underneath my arm. So she suggested a biopsy of both of those areas, and I'm going to do that. Before I can do the biopsy, I have to see a breast specialist. So I have an appointment on Wednesday now to go and see the breast specialist. I was crying my eyes out, but I feel better after talking to, like, we did like a consultation and stuff after the after I put my clothes back on, and she said like it's benign. She said 8 times out of 10 is usually nothing. It's just the body is hormonal and things change, and I just had a baby and it could be, I don't know. But she said there is a 20% chance that it is something, you know, going on. And even if there's something going on, she's like, technology and medicine is amazing, so far advanced these days, that we will just get it taken care of. So they said that I don't need to get the mammogram anymore because they already know that they want me to do a biopsy on both parts of that. She said if I was a little bit older, they would be concerned about, you know, breast cancer and things like that. So she said she's going to skip the mammogram for now and just go straight to me getting a biopsy. So I will keep y'all updated. This is literally so scary, but yeah. And I think I was crying so hard because I was thinking about the fact that I have a son now, somebody that depends on me. I was thinking about my future. I was thinking about treatment. I was thinking about possibly having to go through chemo and cut my hair off. Like, yeah, it was, those was real tears right there, okay? So I had the first appointment, and then I had the second appointment, which was the follow-up. They told me that I had to go and see a breast specialist. So in order to get the biopsy, I had to see a breast specialist first. So I went to the breast specialist. This is me in the elevator. So I'm currently at the cancer center. Today is the day of my breast consultation. So I'm going to floor 3 for breast surgery. Honestly, this shit is so nerve-wracking, but I'm just trying to stay calm because what else can I fucking do? But I can't have the biopsy until I meet with the breast specialist. So I have to meet with the breast specialist today, and I'll let y'all know what they say. At that appointment, they made me feel a little bit better. What happened was she came into the room. She said, I was just looking at your images from the ultrasound because I got the ultrasound at the first appointment. She said, I was looking at your images, and the surgeon walked up, who is a breast surgeon. They walked up and she said, she's looking at these pictures and she's like, I know that that doesn't look cancerous to me, but I was still so scared and so nervous, but that did give me a little bit of relief. So when I came in, she laid me down and she checked the boob that we knew where it was at. They had told her that it was at 8 o'clock, and so she was like feeling around 8 o'clock on my boob, you know, to try to see if she can feel it. And she was like, I'm just not really feeling it. And the lady from the first doctor's appointment was kind of having a hard time too, but she was saying like, can you point it out to me? And once I showed her, that's when she was like, oh wow. So this lady said like, wow, that was an amazing self-check that you did, because I work with breasts every day and I was kind of having a hard time finding this lump that you're referring to. So I felt good about that. So just as a woman, just make sure you're always kind of checking, because you know, you just never know. You never know. So after that, I was scheduled for a biopsy, and so I went to the biopsy. That day I was feeling okay, but I was still very, very nervous. This was all within like a week span. Like I had the appointment on a Wednesday to get the breast checked out. They did the ultrasound. They told me I needed to see a breast specialist. I went there on a Friday, and then Monday I was having the biopsy done. Like it was, they was not playing, and I was so happy about it because I want to kind of hurry up and get through all this. When I was at the biopsy appointment, they gave me the whole rundown of everything that was going to be going on. They told me what they would be doing, how they would be doing it. Keep in mind, at this point, they had found a lump on my breast, and they also found a swollen lymph node under my arm. So I was just so nervous about that, because they were like, anytime we check the boob, we have to check the underarm, and we found something on both. So you can just imagine how I'm just like, I was freaking out, y'all, freaking out. So the nurse comes in, she marks the spots, and the doctor comes in and he's like, hey, this is what's going on. We're gonna numb you. You're gonna feel a little bit of pain. The biopsy itself, I just want to talk a little bit about that. The biopsy itself actually wasn't that bad. I was really nervous because they were telling me like you can't lift or do anything like that on your left side for the rest of the day. They told me I couldn't hold the baby on my left side, and I was just like, man, I am so scared right now. But they said for 24 hours you can't hold the baby on the left side, only on the right side. Feed him on the right boob and just do a light pumping on the left side. Like they were saying, like use the lightest setting because you don't want to get any clogged ducts or anything in the meantime while we're figuring out this other lump. So during the biopsy, they numbed me up, they made a little bit of an incision, and then they went in, and what they basically did was took a small amount of the tissue and took it out in order for them to be able to test it, send it to the lab and see what it is and tell me if it was cancerous or not. I did take a picture of that. I'll put it right here up on the screen. I took a picture because there was two. They took a sample from my boob and a sample from the swollen lymph nodes, so there was two things, and you can see it right here on the screen. When they went in and got the tissue, they left a little something behind. I can't remember what they called it, but it's a very tiny little piece of like metal that marks where they did the biopsy, so that 6 months in the future when I go to a follow-up appointment, they will be able to know exactly where they tested and they can follow up on it and make sure that it's still non-cancerous. So after the biopsy was done, he was telling me, like they were talking to me the whole time. We were talking about the baby and talking about sports and just everything that we could talk about in the meantime, just to keep me nice and relaxed, which was very helpful. There was two nurses, two women, and then the man was the actual one who did the biopsy. He was the doctor. And when that happened, so after the biopsy, he said, I'm gonna tell you the truth, we have to test these because that's just what we have to do. It's the protocol and we want to be 100% safe. He said, but I've been doing this for 15 years now, and if that was cancer, that lump would have been much harder. It would have been much more easier to feel and be able to tell that it was cancerous. And during this whole process, the doctors and the nurses that I was seeing, they kept telling me, oh, you're breastfeeding, so that's just probably what it is. It's probably just something like that. And I was saying, no, I felt this before I gave birth. Before I started breastfeeding, I had been feeling this. I've been having this feeling. So I kept telling them like, no, I'm just not gonna let y'all chalk it up to that. I gotta test this and see what it is, because if I let y'all keep sending me home and this is something more serious than it really is, I'm going to be so upset later down the line. So check me out, do what y'all need to do, because I'm not getting sent home again. So they kept telling me that, and I was like, no, I felt this before, so whatever. So he made me feel much better after the biopsy as well. They told me that on my chart I'll get an email with the results, and they said, you know, you can open them if you want to, but for me, I prefer you just wait until the breast specialist calls you back. So the woman who did my consultation with the breast specialist and telling me about the different tissues and all that, she's the one who called me. So I got the biopsy done on a Monday. She literally called me Wednesday. It was like almost 4 o'clock. They had told me 3 to 5 business days in order to get the results back, but she called me literally Wednesday evening. At the time, I was on the couch holding my son, and y'all, I was just so happy. I was so happy. I felt the most relief in the world. In a nutshell, what she ended up telling me was that these changes were definitely due to lactation changes. She said that most people get these lumps, or you know, this matter after they start breastfeeding and their body is changing, but she said since you felt it before pregnancy, that's why it got a little bit bigger, and we called it a 3x3 because it was a little bit bigger than a normal lump that somebody would have from breastfeeding. So she gave me that information, and she was telling me like, just, you know, we are glad that you wanted to get this checked out. I'm happy to call you with good news and let you know that these are non-cancerous. They are both benign. So the breast tissue that they tested as well as the swollen lymph node both came back as benign and non-cancerous. And so it was just this big relief that I had. Y'all have no idea. I was crying. The lady kept saying, we're not really too much worried about this being cancer because you're not even 30 yet. And I was like, no, I just seen a girl on TikTok. I didn't tell the doctor this, but I had just seen a girl on TikTok who said that she has been diagnosed with breast cancer at the age of 27. And people were in the comments like, wow, this is so totally becoming more common for girls around my age, women around my age. And so this is really scary. And I was just like, oh my God, are you trying to freak me out right now? Because why would you pop this on my For You page after I'm stressed and depressed about a lump on my breast? You know what I'm saying? That's basically what ended up happening. I'm talking about this just because I want women, no matter what age you are, go to the doctor. You know what I'm saying? If you feel something is wrong, go get it checked out. And people always feel like, oh, you're overweight, so your health is not good. I go to the doctor all the time. I have great blood pressure. I have great blood sugar. Like, I am a healthy person. I am just overweight. You get what I'm saying? And so I feel like doctors all the time would just be like, oh, it's just because you're weight. Oh, your knee hurt or your back hurt or your shoulders hurt or whatever, just because you're overweight. And you cannot let them send you off. So I'm just here to let y'all know, as a woman, make sure you advocate for yourself. Make sure you stand up for yourself. Make sure you stay on top of them. Stay on top of your health. If you feel something or you see something, go get it checked out. If you are having any odor in your vagina and you know what I'm saying, anything out of the norm, just make sure you go and get it checked out, because it's up to you. Because if you don't go to a doctor for a year and you had a problem that started in January and you don't go see a doctor until December or whatever for your yearly, you could end up having something for a whole year and you didn't even know about it because you were scared, or you chalked it up to it not being nothing. So I'm just talking about this to let y'all know, be proactive. Make sure you are always going to the doctor, getting yourself checked out. For me, doing that little self-exam, and if you know, I'm doing this because if you know, you know, doing that little self-exam was something that really made me go and see a doctor about the problem that I was having. And I'm so glad that I did, because it did come back as benign. But like I said, people are getting breast cancer at younger and younger ages, and that is something that is really scary. So I want to make sure that I tell my side of the story and include the footage that I had, because I always used to say I'm not gonna be somebody who cries on the internet. That is insane. But I wanted to just include that footage because I want y'all to know how serious it was. I want y'all to know that I was really scared, and I just wanted to make sure that something was nothing. So that's gonna be all for this video. I made it through this whole video without crying. I think I did enough crying when all of that was going. And whatever it is that you've been putting off, if this video helps you to go and see a doctor, that's what I'm here for. So that's all for this video. Hopefully the next video will be a little bit more lighthearted. I want to put up a trucking video next. Ask me any questions that y'all have down below in the comments. Y'all know I'm happy to answer. If there's anything else y'all need or want to see from me, leave that in the comments as well, and I'll see y'all in my next video.